Hello, my name is Morgan Agren and I just finished the Montreal Drumfest a few minutes ago, and I am having a talk here with SABIAN, Bobby Bruce from SABIAN. I come from Sweden. I play with Mats Åberg. We have a band called Mats and Morgan Band who just played here at the Montreal Drum Festival, and I started to play drums when I was around 5, I would say, because my daddy was he played violin and he was a singer in a band, and when he played I wanted to play along, and that was we noticed that quite early, so they bought me a drum set when I was 5, or at least a snare drum, hi-hat and a ride cymbal. And then my dad's band was my first influence, and they had a tour bus and stuff, and when I went into their bus when I was around 7, I knew that this will be my life. I want to play music. I knew that this is me. I want to have a tour bus. I want to play music and nothing else. That I knew already when I was 7, and I did a few performances when I was around 10. Started to play along on those kind of there was young people doing magicians and people bicycling on one wheel and stuff like that, and I played drums. So I did that by myself in the beginning, and then a few years later, when I was 14, I met Mats, who was 10 years old, and I got a call from somebody outside our hometown who told me that she had arranged a concert with a blind keyboard player named Mats, 10 years old, blind, and she had heard about me and thought that it would be a good combination to put us together, because he needed a drummer. So I went to the venue, and we met for the first time at the venue 2 hours before we were supposed to play, and we had no music, so we had to play covers, of course. So Mats and me shaked our hands, and then he asked me we were starting to discuss what to play. So I said we have to play covers, I guess. So he says, okay, so do you know Frank Zappa? He said, well, I guess I can do Bobby Brown. I said, okay, so now I have one song. And then he said, you know Stevie Wonder? Yes, I think I can play Master Blaster. And I asked him, do you know that song? Yes, he said. And then he asked me, do you know Beatles? Because we needed one more song. 3 songs would be enough. And I said, okay, I can play Help. That would work. So we played these 3 songs, and after this occasion, which was September or October '81, and since then we have been in contact all the time. We only have a few weeks break sometime now and then, but constant contact since then. So it was a good meeting. An important call also for me and Mats from this lady who thought we would fit together, because we did. A few years later we met Frank Zappa, who invited us to play with him, because Mats' uncle called the tour manager of Frank and said that his nephew's son and his friend, they have a band that only played his music. And the keyboard player has known Frank's music since he was 7 years old, and all this information Frank got from the tour manager, from Mats' uncle. And so Frank said, I want to meet him. So we met him before the concert and just had a talk, and he invited us to play with him. And I had no sticks, and it was really... The audience was already in the hall when he asked us this, so it was a really weird thing, but we played with him, and it was incredible, because when we started to play, he asked us to play one of his songs, which we did, but we also improvised a little bit, and he was standing just in front of my drums and with a big smile, and I remember that very well, because that gave us a lot of power. That I saw that he was enjoying what we did, and then he invited us to come to the States, but unfortunately he got ill also. So, but it was an amazing thing for us, of course. I was 20 and Mats was 17, and we were, I would say, pretty close to end up in his band, if that, it could have happened, But anyway, it was a fantastic thing, so we are all happy anyway. Even though, without tours coming and being permanent members, so still very cool. Why I play SABIAN? Well, I have played all the cymbals in the world, and to me they are, except for sounding very good, I think they are, some other brands sounds, SABIAN is more reliable, I think, and they have a big range of different cymbals. And I played, long time ago I played Istanbul cymbals, and they were also strange sometimes, but SABIAN was really more safe and more varieties, and I have a few cymbals now that I picked from the placing in what's the fabric in where they make them.
Oh, Medactic.
In Medactic. I went there 10 years ago and I picked up a few cymbals there. I still use them and they don't break. I have one 20-inch crash that I have played for 10 years, and I hit it really hard and it still doesn't crack. It's working. And so all these facts together makes me want to choose SABIAN with no doubt at all. I'm super happy.